Good evening, everybody. Tommy, Almost Zen TV, and today I want to talk about why I quit video games. My lifelong love affair to help me on my path to peace and Zen. Well, first I should go back to the beginning because I've been playing them my whole life. Now, not like addictively ever. It's just always been something I did since the Atari 2600 all the way to the PS5 and the Nintendo Switch. It's never been a problem. It's never gotten in the way of anything I've done, nor has it ever been, like I said, addictive. It's just been something I enjoyed. A lot of good memories attached to it, starting with the 2600 from Atari back when I was little. And I knew I was getting it because I went into my parents' bedroom and they had the newspaper, which used to have the ads for the stores in them, and they had circled the Atari 2600, which was in one of the store ads, which used to list all their stuff in one of the newspapers. And I knew. I didn't know when, but I knew it was coming. And then my Uncle Ronnie coming over and telling me how I had to play the baseball game that's on there. I think it was called Home Run or just baseball. He said, it is tremendous. It is tremendous. You got to play it. So that was the first one. Then to buying a Nintendo Entertainment System back in 88, 87, when I was working at Beaucraft Amusement Park in New Jersey. And I had it in the trunk after picking it up at Toys R Us. I had it in the trunk while I was at work at the batting cages, knowing it was in there and I was going to get to play it. To playing the Sega Genesis a few years later and having my friend Noel stayed over the whole night, and he was playing Pat Riley basketball, and I would fall asleep listening to him try to beat it. Kept checking in on him. You getting there? You beating all the teams yet? To September 9th, 1995, buying the Sony PlayStation 1, which was Sony's first foray into video games. And I went there with my friend Oatmeal. Yes, that's what we called him. That's what everyone called him. To the Woodbridge Mall in New Jersey, to the EB Games to pick it up. I bought the PlayStation with, I think, ESPN Extreme Games, and maybe tennis or something like that, which I didn't like, and went to return that. We had Burger King. And getting something like Burger King on the way home to get from getting a video game system. I think I did it with the NES too, when I was at the Beaucraft in the late 80s. It started a thing where anytime I would get a system like that or a big tentpole game, I would go to a fast food place and get something. So I had that. Then some small gaps in there, and then just always picking up the next PlayStation. That became my thing after that, the PlayStation 2. But that PlayStation 1 had great memories. Playing Final Fantasy 7 and going to my friend's house and watching him just play it after I beat it every night. Till 3 a.m. I'd be there watching just as he went through the motions. Great memories there. PlayStation 2, then PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, some detours to the Wii and the Wii U, and then to the Switch, which had some of my best memories. Playing Friday the 13th online, which I never really played games online, but that one really played over 300 hours of that online. And some of my greatest memories, not just for games, but for just any memory in general, because I had the headset and the mic, and I developed a lot of friendships with that and some really fond memories, which more than any video game memory, even the first ones, nothing will surpass it. So I've kind of glossed over that a bit just to give you the highlights, but you say, okay, why give up on it if you have such a lifelong love affair and it's not really addictive where it's getting in the way of your life? Well, very simple. Well, not so simple. But one, it's taking up time that I don't want taken up with that. As I get older, I'm 81 years old next month. I think of what Paul Stanley of KISS said about quality time remaining and how much time you have left and what you want to do with that time. Now, I'm not begrudging anybody who plays. You could play 12 hours a day. If you're happy and that's how you want to spend the time, please do that. It's a short ride, and I envy you. Me, I can't because I don't find as much enjoyment from it. I get angry with a lot of the games, and that's not good. I shouldn't get done with something and be angry. You don't watch a movie and get furious. You don't watch a TV show and throw the remote across the room. That can happen with my personality. So time, the anger issues I get with it, and I felt the payoff wasn't enough. I needed to devote my time up here to more spiritual pursuits. Even towards the end, I tried to salvage it by just getting spiritual type games or games that made you think about life, like The Friends of Ringo Ishikawa, or Rest of a Stone Buddha, Fading Afternoon, all by the same guy, Yo. Things like Stillness in the Wind, even just meditative games like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which were very zen and relaxing. But I still felt it was ultimately becoming a dead end. And you might say, well, if you read a book about spirituality or watch a movie about spirituality and playing a video game about spirituality, isn't it the same thing? You're giving your time up. It is. But I feel with games, let me say this, I had already bought a bunch of digital games, which are non-returnable, and I had 150, 200 of them in the backlog, which if I thought I paid for these, I gotta play them, I started to get overwhelmed and anxiety ridden over that and thought, well, if I don't, then I wasted the money. But it's a sunk cost. It didn't matter. In my head, I'm thinking, I can't do this. A lot of the ones I bought, never ended up liking. It became just an exercise in frustration and ultimately a waste of time to me. And it's not a waste of time to everybody. Please keep playing. This is my personal story. It's bittersweet, it's sad, because like I said, it's been a lifelong thing. And I know you might say, oh, you can go back to it anytime. I could. Every time a new one's going to come out, the new Switch, the PS6, my eyes are going to kind of glance over there and like, oh, that looks fun. Oh, look, another open world game, another Zelda game. But I don't know. I want to devote this to more spiritual pursuits. And I know I'm going to miss out. I know there's things I'm going to miss out on. I get it. I'm okay with it. Not 100%, but I'm okay with it. There's been enough memories in there to tide me over for however long I have left on the planet. I want to focus on happiness, peace, tranquility, and zen. And I was not getting it 100% from video games. So it became not worth it. Not with the time remaining left and wanting to make it quality. Same thing with sports. I don't really watch sports except for basketball, and with the basketball season coming up, I'm a Knicks fan. It starts on the 22nd of October, 2024. So who knows when people will be watching this. But I'm probably not watching any of the games anymore. It's not worth it. The up and down for no reason. The pain, the heartache, the joy, too much of this to the heart rate from something meaningless. Because it could bring me joy and also brings pain, which makes it ultimately not worth it. Video games don't bring that unless you get mad at them, which I do, but generally they're pretty benign. But again, it's all about the time. And honestly, for people who say, well, you watch TV, you watch movies, not really. I don't really do that much. I hardly do that. And I'll talk about the things I watch in future videos. But I did want to talk about this, and wanted to also tell you, well, how are you going to fill the time, Tommy, without the games? Well, again, I didn't play this a lot. I didn't play this thing a lot. It's one of the reasons for the last time I looked at it and thought I haven't played this in weeks. It's the last time I looked at it and said that without going, all right, I gotta do something about this. And I've gone back and forth. I bought a PS4 and then this and then back to this and selling this and back to that and back and forth between them, which I wasn't picking up the signs because I had played these my whole life, and I thought, no, this doesn't mean really anything other than I'm just indecisive. But it was a sign, like, maybe this isn't your thing anymore. You can't find enjoyment, sustainable enjoyment from it. Where you got to keep, like, trying, okay, this one's kind of, I went back and forth between a Switch and a PlayStation 4 times. 4 times. How am I going to fill the time? Oh, let me tell you. Meditation, interactions with people close to me, eating out more, making videos every day. There might be a little gap for the date that you're seeing this one. There might be a little gap until I get cooking by the first week of November and really find my stride. God, this shirt is like so baggy looking. One sleeve long. What's happening here? But I'm going to fill it with those things. Some spiritually fulfilling that I'm not going to get mad at. Meditation, it's money in the bank. Time with friends, money in the bank. Eating out, money in the bank. Video games, there's some stress and anger involved. So I've got to let it go. And it's been a lifelong love affair. I could go long and hard about people don't, bad choice words. I can go really deep. Okay, another bad choice word. I can go on a long soliloquy about the joy I've had with games over the years. And boy, can I also go on about the negativity I've had from video games, or the money spent on video games, and ultimately the time spent, which wasn't all good use of time. And I'm not generally sitting down to play the game is not a waste of time. The way it worked out for me, it was. It should always be about pure joy. Nintendo really does that well, and they make these games that are pure joy. But playing Mario Brothers and trying to jump over a really difficult platform level with my personality, the Sagittarius that I am, was not fun. So ultimately, it had to go. I'm moving on to greener pastures. It was a tough decision, but it was an easy one when I got a little clarity on it. Because desperate times call for meditative measures. And there was a weird mix of deep sadness and at the same time relief when I finally unplugged this for the last time. Because like I said, it's been since I was 8, 9, 10 years old. It's been a thing, chicken wing. But my life is at the point where I have no room for anything other than spiritual enhancement. Even though I searched in the last year for games that had that. Oh, I'm going to play Ghost of Tsushima, the samurai game, and they talk about samurai wisdom. I'd rather just live samurai wisdom like the character in the game was doing. And boy, do I love the people who are playing that before or after watching this video. Please enjoy that. My God, with all of your soul, enjoy it. But if it makes you mad, look critically at it if it's worth it. If the trade-off, monetarily, physically, mentally, and spiritually, yes, they can all apply to video games. Yes, they can. It's something in life that you devote your time to that elicits emotions all over the spectrum, man. But for me, I'm on a path of peace, a path of least resistance, and a path of almost finding Zen. Because I can live to 110 and I won't be Zen. That's for sure. But I'll do it to the best of my ability with a more clear mind. And just thinking about it just now, Nintendo Switch Sports popped into my head, and the 80 hours or so I put into playing the soccer game, I was like, I'd start off saying, this is so fun, and by the end of it, getting furious with the teammates who I couldn't talk with on a mic. And I had to just say, why are they messing up? I come on here to play, have fun for a little bit. And these people are effing around. Anyway, you see just that. There's the yin and the yang of it. That balance. Once I looked at it critically and clearly, I saw that balance is perfect. Now leave it over here. Now you can go over there. I'm over here now. So that's one thing of many I am shedding in my journey to just get through this thing in one piece. Because some days we're in pieces, and then we keep piecing it back together, and then we glue ourselves back together, and a couple pieces fall off again, and you just every day we keep doing it. And that's all I'm trying to do. And I want to end with a video game quote, ironically. If I can remember it, which I loved from a video game, and there's been so many quotes that I've written down in little journal books from great lines I heard in a video game that were spiritual or that were very spiritually nourishing. Well, this one summed it up. The video game Dragon Age Inquisition, they had these player cards that you could read in game of all the characters. And this one was for the character Leliana. And let me think on this. And on the back it said, Leliana, she dedicated herself to her faith, discovering peace in a simple life of devotion. And that is still one of my favorite lines of all time. And boys and girls, that was from a video game. So if that's not enough to tell you, there is something to be gleaned from that, to savored, enjoyed, and treasured. And I will never forget the line. I will never forget all the memories of video games. But it's time for me to say goodbye to Mario, to Link, to Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, to Don Mattingly and Brett Favre from the old 80s and sports games, and to the unnamed people in Atari baseball who were just little blips. Thank you for everything. You've left me a better off as a person, a little bit more angry, and a little lighter in the wallet. But I wouldn't have traded it for the world. But it's time to move on. It's time to just be zen. Almost. That's good enough for me, for now. I'm Tommy. This is Almost Zen TV. Game the heck on.